Sony has confirmed it will not reverse its decision to end sales of physical PlayStation disc games, even after a full month of strong and sustained backlash from the gaming community. The company first announced the move on July 1st, stating that physical disc production and sales for all of its consoles would come to a permanent stop as of January 2028. Now, following its recent earnings call, Sony has broken its relative silence and made clear that it intends to press ahead with the plan, describing the approach as careful but firm. During an investor Q&A session that followed the earnings presentation, Sony's chief financial officer Lin Tao directly addressed the controversy. Speaking through an interpreter, Tao explained that the decision rests on a much broader industry-wide shift rather than any single short-term calculation. There are various reasons we made this decision, the biggest being that the digitalization of content overall has been progressing. That's the big factor. It's not just for PlayStation, but for all kinds of content. Digitalization is progressing. Tao emphasized that Sony did not reach this conclusion lightly or suddenly. The company, he said, invested significant time and careful thought before arriving at the final position. When we think about the future, and we put in a lot of thought and time, and we cautiously considered this, and we came to this conclusion, and we're going to cautiously move this forward. The repeated use of the word cautiously suggests Sony is aware of the emotional and practical impact the change will have, yet remains committed to the direction it has chosen. The original announcement triggered an immediate and widespread reaction. Online petitions and organized social media campaigns sprang up within days. Gamers voiced deep concerns about the end of the second-hand games market, the loss of physical ownership, and the reduced ability to buy titles at lower prices after their initial release. Many players also pointed to the risk of losing access to games if digital storefronts change, servers shut down, or accounts become locked for any reason. A Change.org petition linked to the campaign has gathered more than 352,000 signatures as of the latest reports. In addition to the petitions, a coordinated boycott known as PS Blackout has been scheduled for the week of August 23rd. During that period, players plan to avoid logging into PlayStation Network, refrain from playing games, and make no purchases on Sony's platforms. Organizers hope the visible drop in activity and revenue will force the company to reconsider. It remains unclear how many people will ultimately take part, but the scale of the online mobilization shows the depth of feeling among a significant portion of the community. Sony has publicly acknowledged these strong views. Tao stated, "We have received various opinions, and people have strong views, and we understand that the community has put forth those views to us." He went further, noting that many titles are connected to people's fond memories and that the company wants to take those emotional attachments into account. Tao also hinted that Sony is still exploring ways to soften the impact inside a fully digital ecosystem, although no concrete measures have been announced yet. And in the future digital ecosystem, how do we engage the gamers is something that we would like to continue to explore. The shift away from physical media is not unique to PlayStation. Across the entertainment industry, music, movies, and books have all moved heavily toward digital distribution. Sony argues that games are following the same long-term trajectory. Physical discs require manufacturing, packaging, shipping, and retail shelf space costs that disappear with pure digital delivery. Digital sales also give publishers more direct control over pricing, updates, and anti-piracy measures. From a business perspective, the logic is clear. From a player's perspective, however, the change removes the ability to own a tangible product, resell it, lend it to friends, or keep it permanently without relying on continuous internet access and company servers. Critics have described the policy as another step toward a world in which consumers own nothing and are happy, a phrase that has circulated widely in discussions of digital rights. Supporters of physical media argue that discs still offer important advantages. They work offline, they can be collected, and they provide a form of permanent ownership that digital licenses do not guarantee.